Guys, Mr. Tails Gamer here. I decided I'm going to make an update video to my arcade machine. It's been a slow in progress, but I'm making some headway, a little bit. I'll give you some footage of what I've done so far. The last time I did a video, there's stuff everywhere. There's my old dog. That monitor had an issue. So I replaced the capacitors in the power supply board. I think I spent like $12 and got all the capacitors and replaced them all myself, soldering and all that. So put it back together, did not work. There's one other board in there called the logic board or the main board, which the display ports are attached to. I decided to buy all the capacitors for that too, another $10 or so, and replaced all those, and ended up working. So that's awesome. Super pumped on that because look at this. You can see I took obviously the bezel off, the outside plastic parts of the monitor, and it just sits in there. There's a little space on either side. So it's going to fit in here perfectly for what I want to do. I did get the Pandora's Box 6. There it is right there. It's all hooked up into the harness. It displayed, powered it up and it displayed on there. Unfortunately, the control panel that I had, there's right now, I'm kind of modifying it, punching some more holes in it, only had 2 buttons for each player. And so I couldn't navigate the Pandora's Box 6 menus with only 2 buttons. So I took it all apart. I got some more wiring I need to do. I got buttons. I got some more buttons. I can't remember what website it was, but we got orange, white, and blue. I'm gonna put on there all half buttons, and then I got some more wire in there. I can't remember. Oh, these are the Molex connectors I gotta put together. But anyway, yeah, so I used this hole saw. I did have one, but I don't think it was made for metal because all the teeth were grinding down on the one I was using. So I had to go like to a hardware store and get one that's made for specifically for metal. And then I was able to punch out 6 holes. So I measured as best of my ability to make sure the spacing and everything on the 6 holes were correct. And I kind of went to town last night on it. And yeah, so there's some buttons here. I got 6 now for each side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 6 over there. And then the joystick. And then I did punch one through. Actually, I didn't have to punch one through. This covering was on one of them. I just cut through. I opened this one up because that'll be like a pause button or something. I think the Pandora's Box 6 has like a pause button. So now I have like I'll probably put first player here, pause button, and then second player there, and then I'll have 6 buttons for each. So that will work. I'm just gonna clean this off the best as I can. See if I like it still. I might even peel this off. It's like an adhesive. Adhesive texture or whatever, like tape. I don't know how well that would come off if I decide to do that, but I'm gonna go ahead and clean it off and see what it looks like. But so far so good. I have to rewire the buttons, but the Pandora's Box 6, I did get an extra JAMA harness just in case I needed it. I don't think I'm going to need it, but this is the wiring that came out of the control panel for the existing buttons that were in there. I'm gonna have to redo the ground and add some more wires for the additional buttons, but so far so good. Still got a lot to do. I think I'm at actually for the side art, cleaned it off a little bit, but I think I was gonna do my Mr. Tails Gamer logo and have it printed like in here, put it on here to each side of it, because that has some orange and white and blue in it. That's kind of why I went with the color scheme of the buttons with the orange, white, and blue. Kind of match there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do at the top marquee yet, but that's where I'm at so far. I know it's been a few weeks, so I was on vacation for a week. Man, I think it's like been a month or maybe even more since I shot the first video, but that is where I'm at right now. It's kind of a short video because there's not a lot to talk about. I use this template, although it varies a little bit. I got this template off just Google Images or whatever. Just search control panels, control panel templates. So I kind of used that. It varied a little bit with the 2 buttons holes that were already in there. It varied a little bit, so I had to measure my own, make sure it was exactly right. I think the first hole I did was a little off. Right here, this is the, I think that's the first player? Yeah, it is first player button. This one here is just a little off, but actually it's, I think there's a little bit of play with the buttons in there that might be able to make them all the exact same. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But sitting on the arcade one-up cardboard box. I don't know if was that in here last time. Got that from Costco. Thought that was kind of cool. Kids can play, but kids these days they don't understand old games, so they quit real quick. But something for me to do too. There's some fun ones on there. I got that from Costco. I don't know if that was in here last video I took, but anyway, I got a mess going here. I got to clean up a little bit. I drilled the holes on the control panel on here so I wouldn't drill through my concrete flooring, so I just used this piece of wood to drill into. So yeah, work in progress, getting there. Got all the holes done. I'm gonna put the buttons in after I clean off the control panel, and then I guess the next step after that would just be to start the wiring, get the wiring harness and add the additional wires to it for the 6 buttons, because this JAMA harness does allow, you can't really see it, but it does allow for 6 buttons each player, so that's nice. And those Molex connectors, they're in there for 6 buttons. I just have to, I have the female versions of the Molex, so I just have to wire the other sides, which are down here, add additional wires in here with the Molex connectors, get them crimped, and hopefully it all works. So that's where I'm at. So anyways, guys, Mr. Tails Gaming here. Just wanted to give you a little update on the arcade machine. I know it's been like a month or so, but yeah, we'll see you next time. Hopefully I'll get most of it put together by the next one, and I'll show you an update with that. All right, guys, take care. I'll see you on the next one.